I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with your feeder flash for Thursday, June the 25th. Yearling feeders continue to roll. They had a big offering at OKC West, El Reno, Oklahoma. Big run up there, including a lot of fancy calves too, up in Bassett, Nebraska. Got some big videos coming up, and guys are really taking advantage of this market while it's holding out here. But you know, I've talked to a lot of guys this week, and most of them agree they've never seen fundamentals be so poor and bearish, yet the prices, especially on these feeder cattle, continue to run so good. We're losing ground this week on our fat cattle sales, and we're not really seeing the charity bids out there per se, but just the fact of getting a bid seems like a charity this week, as every time we hear that they've got some bids out from one of the big four packers, they say, well, they've got those bids out, but it's on a limited basis. The buyers can only take so many per buyer and things like that. So even though the market's down quite a bit, and we've gotten back down where it really is a market now, it still seems like kind of a charity just to be able to get your cattle sold and get them scheduled for slaughter. But I was talking to some of my other contacts here on Wednesday, and really trying to get an idea of how these feeder cattle are staying so strong. And I guess I'm pretty dense, and finally talked to one gal, and she said, well, don't you understand? She said these CFAP checks that these guys have recently got, the cheese checks that they've got, they're spending those on feeder cattle. And that is what is promoting the feeder cattle market on a cash basis, and most of your guys that are trading the board and holding the feeder cattle board up, they knew that, so that's kind of what's been supporting things. And if you think about it, yeah, that's what the guys do. Are they going to pay off their notes or buy more feed with that? Well, we're at the time of the year where we're turning cattle out. Well, what do you want to do when you got green grass out there? You want to buy more cattle and turn more cattle out. So that's kind of what we've been seeing, that your CFAP checks have been helping the market quite a bit, and that's great. So maybe they have done some good in that respect anyway. But traveling over here in southwest Missouri, going to be at Joplin Regional Stockyards at the special weanback sale that got on Thursday, expecting over 6,000 head. There'll be bigger offerings, more uniform. They'll have a weanback program, and there'll be more black, of course, and expecting a pretty hot sale there too. On Thursday night, be speaking at the Baker Spain Stampede over there north of Mountain Grove, and or not Mountain Grove, Mount Vernon, but quite a ways west of there. But hope to see several of the Feeder Flash gang members there. I want to mention that on Thursday starts the Northern Livestock Videos Early Summer Special. And that'll be another great test of cattle, especially up in the Montana region there. They get nearly all those big strings of cattle up there in Montana. Joe Goggins and all of his crew up there handle the Northern Livestock Video market. They're going to be having their sale on Thursday and Friday, expecting, or they are going to be offering close to 17,000 head for the two-day video auction. It starts here on Thursday at 9 o'clock in the morning, and be a lot of fancy cattle on there, a lot of fancy calves on there, and a lot of yearlings also. And want to give a shout out. Hope you guys will bid on my Feeder Flash gang members' cattle there. Lepley Creek Livestock there out of Wolf Creek, Montana. That's lot 373. He's got 245 head of all black yearling steers there for August delivery to weigh 875, and they're pretty fancy rigged there, and I'd sure like to. There's a lot of other fancy cattle on there too, but hope some of you buyers will keep your eye on lot 373. We'd like to get those cattle sold as high as we can. Let's talk about the board on Wednesday. June live cattle futures down 22 cents at 93.30. August down 85 cents at 96.35. Your August, you know, at the close of Tuesday was just about par with the spot market, and that's where all the plays at is in August. Pretty much everybody's bailed out of June with only a few deliveries there, threatening your longs, and they pretty much all saw that it was time to get out. And now we expect here the next several sessions that a lot of your long investors that are outside the industry will start rolling out of August because they don't want to be in the spot month. But you go on out front from June, it was down a nickel to down 35 cents, so not horrible on your out fronts on your live cattle futures. But August feeder cattle down 32 cents at 132.87 after being up big earlier in the week. September down 30 at 134.17. Go on your out fronts on feeder cattle, they were down a quarter to up 50 cents, so not a whole lot of volatility there. Fat cattle trade. And we're seeing it on a live basis and dress basis, mostly $3 to $5 lower. But we had some more confirmed sales. About 300 of these confirmed sales will be from the Fed Cattle Exchange there, the online fat cattle sales there. They had sales from 95 to 97, and some of those will be scattered in here on your confirmed sales for Wednesday. But Iowa, about 4,100 head there. Live sales from 97 to 99, dress from 155 to 156. That's the market, and we just not really seeing anything over $1. We have seen some dollar sales there earlier in the week, but that's not really the market at this point in the week. It's more 97, 98 for the most part. Nebraska, about 12,900 head confirmed on Wednesday, mostly at 95, but 95 to 98, and dress sales from 155 to 156 also. Kansas, about 3,000 head confirmed, 95 to 97, and 156 dress. Texas, only about 500 head, all at 97. Texas hadn't sold a whole lot, so we'll see them sell a few more, and all in the southern plains. But we've pretty much established our market there, and it's sure lower. Box beef cutout values are now back to where they were before we started seeing the effects of the coronavirus. So we've seen the spikes, we've seen the gouging, we've seen everything that happened, we've seen the slaughter fall off pace big time, and now we've got our slaughter back to a normal pace, and we've got our box beef cutout values back to where they were before they started. But all the way down sub 210 on your choice cuts, 209.69. Remember, at the heat of the coronavirus, they had taken those all the way up to 477 at one point, but now at 209.69, down 212 for the daily movement there on Wednesday for your afternoon sales. Selects at 201.69, down 188. Still pretty good movement of 196 loads of cuts, grinds, and trimmings, but the experts say that we've just about filled the pipeline back up, where your retail outlets and food service, which we lacked food service there during the worst of the COVID, but now they are starting to get their coffers filled back up, and we've about got the pipeline full, and that doesn't really bode well for your box beef cutout values. They're already at the lowest point for this time of year as we've seen in years. But slaughter, pretty impressive, 359,000 through Wednesday. That's 1,000 more than last week, and just 8,000 off of the same week last year whenever everything was normal. And this was before the Holcomb fire. That didn't happen until August, if you remember. But talk about your feeder cattle market, your real-time index on DV auction late on Wednesday at 130.80, up 97 cents because we had some good sales. I tell you what. Talk about your big sales. OKC West, El Reno, Oklahoma had a hell of a sale. 7,600 head, including the lighter offering of calves that they had on Tuesday. But feeder steers $2 to $3 higher. Feeder heifers were mostly steady to $1 higher. And like I said, on Tuesday they had a light test of calves, and they weren't really enough of them to really get a handle on the trend. But look at this automated market report out of Cattle Market Central there through DV Auction. And notice this is for the Wednesday sale only, just your yearling feeder sale there, and that's pretty evident by looking at this automated report. But look at those best tested weights of big feeders there on your steers. 2,020 head of 8-weight steers averaged 855 at 125.96. That's up nearly $3 there, guys, and that's what the market reporters called them there at the top. And it was your 8 weights that they were most popular, and of course that's what they had the most of. 1,307 head of 9-weight steers there, average 937 at 117.90. Look at some of your bigger heifer bunches there in your popular weight. 622 head of heifers altogether there, average 742 in the 7-weight category, and 119.31 for your weighted average price. And 407 head of the 8-weight heifers averaged 867 at 113.57. That was up straight up $2 there on your 8-weight heifers, guys. So we saw popular sales on your 8-weights. And you think, well, you got to be in one of those big high volume sales there, right in your feedlot industry, either the northern or southern plains, to get these prices. Well, not at Kirk Powell's sale at North Arkansas Livestock, Green Forest, Arkansas, guys. They don't sell them all one at a time. They get some strings in there too, and that is the top sale in that part of the country. 58 head, 821-pound steers bring $132.50 in Green Forest, Arkansas, guys. How about on the other spectrum, where up in the northern plains, Stockman's Livestock Market, Yankton, South Dakota, sells 75 head of 945-pound steers at $126, and you'd have to dodge the scales to get that load around, but that's a big string of cattle there on some big steers. How about Bassett Livestock, Bassett, Nebraska? Of course, they're back having their sales more regular now, and they'll be having their big barbecue special here before long, and you want to keep tabs on that. But 5,400 head there in Bassett. Check out this automated market report out of Cattle Market Central there through DV Auction, and my goodness, just the weighted averages on the best tested weights are an extreme top for anywhere else. But 1,012 head of 6-weight steers average 647 at 162.96. Wow, that's your weighted average price on all the 6-weight steers. Now those would be pretty fancy calves there. 724 head of bigger feeder calves there, 742 pounds there on the average at 144.54, and then 354 head of your 8-weight steers averaged 842 at 129.98. Let's look at your heifers. 779 head of 5-weight heifer calves averaged 555 at 152.69. 809 head of the 6-weight heifer calves averaged 643 at 145.93, and 325 head of your 7-weight heifers averaged 737 at 131.30. Some stick-out deals out of Bassett, and they were all natural cattle, and that does make a difference, guys. NHTC makes some difference. All natural makes a lot more difference, and whenever you get on some of these more recognized programs with third-party verification, they'll sure bring it, guys. But 80 head, 644-pound steers, all natural, bring 174, and another 80 head of 748-pound steers that were all natural bring $164. And that's your feeder flash for Thursday.